It's Thump Day with just Rich today, and my good friend Terry should be back hopefully soon. It doesn't look right either, does it? That probably looks a little bit better. All right, we'll go with that. Not necessarily the best, and then you get the face for radio, as they say, right? Anyway, we're back after a day off yesterday at Keeneland. Back today, flying solo for the last time this week for Belmont at the Big A. Be up at the picks in just a moment. Tomorrow, I'll be back with my good friend Tom. It'd be great to have a co-pilot again. Thomas and I are going to do the Everest, the richest race, I think. It's a sprint race. It's in Australia. And then on top of that, all of the races at Ascot for British Championship Day tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss any of that down below. You see scrolling all of our social sites. If you haven't done so already, kindly follow us at all of them, just in case one is down. You'll find on the description in YouTube a link to today's free track over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It is in my neck of the woods at Hawthorne Racetrack, so make sure you head over there. Take advantage of that. Please use the link in the description so they know where you came from. When the show's over on horseracingtoday.net, I'll post all my picks, my Benny and the Bets ideas, as well as a race replay right on horseracingtoday.net. And then you can hit that HRT gear button, get yourself a hoodie. It's definitely getting cooler, or you can get a trucker hat. You like that sort of thing with the Horse Racing Today, and you can design it to fit whatever style. So if you're a North Carolina fan, maybe less so with Bill Belichick in charge or his girlfriend, who knows, or you Eagles fan. After 2 straight losses, maybe a little bit of green luck with the Horse Racing Today hat might help your team find the winner's circle again, to use a little bit of horse racing parlance. Of course, our smart sheets are available. Speaking of which, when the Breeders' Cup comes up just 2 weeks from tomorrow, it's kind of amazing. The smart sheets will be available in full over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. If you sign up for the monthly subscription, they'll be included. So make sure you take advantage of that, as well as our wagering guide. Today's smart sheets for Belmont, the only place you can get them, are in the link on YouTube, as well as an explanation on how to use them. I'll also link to the explanation as well as the smart sheets in the YouTube and the horseracingtoday.net recap. So let's get cracking with race number 1. This one is a 6-furlong turf race on the outer turf. Maidens for 2 years old. And again, one of the things I like to pay attention to with the maiden races is the par speed figure. In this case, it's 83, and no horse, that's what we see right here, has been able to hit that par speed figure. So with that in mind, I like to take a look at it. Horses with second race par ability. You got the 3-horse likeness. 85 relative to 83 is just a couple of points. So the 3 will need a lot of improvement to get there. It's possible. After that, I'd be taking a look at the first-time starters. Felonious, the 2-horse, is a almost 3 points, 2.95 out of 3 points. That's the maximum. And a bullet and go workout. Got to like that. So really not much else to look at in this race other than that the 5-horse Brooklyn Styles is an experienced horse that last time out ran a last race speed figure, a handful of points better than everybody else. And Andrew Beyer says 3 or more is usually enough. Of the horses with experience, the 4 and the 5 won in pressure, the 3 not within 5 lengths, and then half of them are first-time starters. So with that in mind, in race number 1, I'm going to start with Felonious, that first-time starter, because of that back bullet workout and strong 2.95 out of 3 versus a field of no's and 1 maybe. Uncle Aldo, the 4-horse, next for me, could be ready for a bounce-back race in the 3rd career start. A lot of times you see horses follow a pattern, not always, but sometimes. You'll see a horse come out, kind of a good race, and then really not much improvement in the 2nd start. That's where you're really looking for that bounce-back race today. So you can see maybe that expected 2nd race improvement coming in the 3rd start today. The 5-horse Brooklyn Styles just missed in its last race. My good friend Chris Parmalu says for maidens, the horses that finished 2nd in the prior start, hey, they only got to beat 1 today. Did run that top last race speed figure, 5 points better than everybody else. And then the 1-horse Miss Mashinga, that is another first-time starter, does have a decent set of workouts versus a field of no's. Got to have them. Race, no bets for me in that race either. I just felt like you might get a really short shot with that 2-horse. Race number 2 is going to be the start of the pick 4. Their good friend, Don Johnson, Miami Vice style. It's another maiden race. For 2-year-olds, this one's going to be 1.1 miles on the turf. Again, looking at that speed figure of 79, understanding that inside 3 do well, closers do the best, but about 17% go wire to wire. 4 through 7, a little better than par 8, not a little bit of a discount. So in race number 2, again, that speed figure number being the key number, 79. Got a couple of them that have popped that number in here. You got the 1 and the 3. The 2 twirling lad within 5 points. Really no second race par ability over here. And the source, Fazone, 2.27 first-time starter. Everybody else is a no. So you have to consider it. Generally speaking, I like to have a horse of a 2.5 or more. But when they're all no's, they got a lot of improving to do, especially without any second race par ability. And I also like the fact that Fazone has the top jockey and one of the better trainers in the race. Our race shape tells us, again, the 1, the 4, the 5, and the 7, not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. The 6 giving it a go for the first time today. 2 and 3 like the pressure. For the first time today, we're going to take a look at what we call comfort zone. Comfort zone is when we look at the early pace. We pair it up to the horse's best performances to see how in contact it will be. And it's almost a 72% chance today the 3-horse, Tim and Sam, will get a race that mirrors its best performance. Also a 7-point last race speed figure. We do see here the 1 and 2 want to jump out to the front. And then you have the 4-horse with a pretty big in-race advantage at the end. 11 points. Every 5 points equals about 1 length. So that's about a 2-length late speed edge. If the 4 is anywhere near the pack coming out of that turn, it could be very difficult to hold them off. Good morning, Don Johnson. If, like Don Johnson, you want to say hello, you have some picks, some constructive criticisms, you have a good joke, keep it somewhat clean, hit us up in the comments section. I would greatly appreciate that. Hello, Jose Alameda. How are you, my uncle? For race number 2, my selections, I'm going to start off with number 3. That one is Tim and Sam, it being the one that had that 7-point last race speed figure, top total pace, top C-zone. Good reasons to believe that horse can get out to the front or near the front and stay there. Number 1, Culieta, could be your pace setter. One of a couple yes horses as we see in the smart sheets, and also has a pretty strong workout between races. It is the Sim fave. Those horses have done very well too. Number 2, Twirling Lad, that is David Aragona, the line maker at Nybra Tracks. That's his top choice in there right today. Last race was pretty awful, so it's going to have to rebound, and I would like to see a rebound race before I can fully back that one, although David thinks good things could happen. And then Fazone, that's that first-time starter. Okay, works. The rest of the horses are no's. I'm going to start off my first pick 4 of the day. I'm going to leave out the favorite and go with the 1-3. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, then the 2, 7, and then the 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9. That is the maximum budget of a 50 spot right there from Venezuela. Hope things are all good in that part of the world for you. We got 2 minutes to go before the opener, so I'm going to go ahead and run through race number 3 real quick, and then I'll tell you what I see happening in race number 1. Unfortunately, hey, Lauren, how you doing today? 25 handicappers at Belmont at the Big A today. So, Lauren, LAUREN_SCHAAP at X if you want to see the thoughts of 25 handicappers today at Belmont at the Big A. So, in race number 3, they're going to go 1 mile. It's important to note that at Aqueduct, 1 mile is 1 turn. Many tracks, it's 2 turns. So, it's going to act a little bit more like a sprint. And you see that 44% of the horses that win at this distance go wire to wire. There is a strong rail bias. So in race number 3, speed is the way. Let's take a look at the race setup. You got a lot of horses that want the lead. The 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4, interesting. The 5 is a lone P. They can be dangerous. The 6 and 7 want to close. 6 does have a tremendous late speed edge over everybody else, about 2.5 lengths. Again, remember, 5 points equals 1 length. Also has the top total pace of about 6 points, so a little bit more than 1 length. Although the race might not go as fast as he wants, according to the C-zone. Everybody's come pretty close to hitting par or hitting par. The 5-horse has a 3-point last race speed figure, but the 4 is your simulation favorite, pretty heavy. In race number 3, for me, I'm going to go with the 3-horse, Furry Fox. That one is my first choice, and Furry Fox gets that call. because it has speed, getting first-time Lasix. That's usually a pretty good sign and usually a pretty effective way to win. It's also the biggest class dropper, moving down 2 lengths. I'm a fan of that. Number 1, Spirit of Esther. If you ever watched Sanford and Son, Esther, that was a funny show. I wish it was still on TV. I still watch it from time to time when it's on. But the 1 horse did hold its speed longer last out. Maintenance workout between races to have more stamina today. Another cliche, the 4 horse, big time simulation favorite, a bunch of decent works and definitely been up against stronger horses. And then Handle on You. It's a tough call for me over the 5. That's the fact, Jack, with that speed figure advantage. But all that late speed and top total pace is 6 points. Got to have them in there. $5 exact the key box, 3 over the 1, 4, 5, and 6, and then $12 to win on the 3. Wouldn't necessarily call it a best bet for the day. I would say, though, it is the horse I thought with the highest odds of my picks today with the best chance to win. So that's why I made it a $12 win bet. Looks like in Belmont at the Big A right now, they're off and running in the opener. So in the opener, let's go back to our smart sheets, race number 1. The 4 horse. That's got out to lead. We said it would be part of that early mix. The 2 horse, the first time starter, is right there on the rail as well. Then you got the 5 horse. I don't know what happened to the 3. It's a part of the early pace as well. They're making their way down the backstretch, bring by the American flag. The 4 horse out in the lead. It's not any bets there. The 5 horse to the outside. The first time starter trying to save a little bit of ground on the rail. The jockey on that one, John Velasquez, asking the first time starter to get engaged now to try to make up some ground on that 4 horse. I don't know he's making any ground up on him, though. He's kind of, looks like he's shortened up his stride a little bit. Looks like that 4 horse, he going to win. Maybe. The 5 horse is going to try to chase him down at the end here. I don't know that the 5's got enough energy to do it. 2 horse is trying to find a stride, but he's not going to get there. He might hold on for a piece of 3rd. Looks like he's finally finding his footing, but he is tiring a little bit. The 4 horse is going to be a clear winner, then the 5, and then it looks like the 2, 3. So 4, 5, 2, 3. Uncle Aldo taking home the top prize at 2-1 for trainer Jose D'Angelo. Jockey Flavian Pratt doing so out on the front the entire way around the track. And that's the way it was the second choice there in the 5 horse with the simulation favorite. So worked out all right. I mean, sometimes you don't always get them in the perfect order, but to have the trifecta in the picks is always sort of the goal. I mean, it's always the goal, right? Race number 4 in an 8-race card. This one today is going to go. Let me pop over here to get the profile of a winner. They're going to run 6 furlongs, and at Belmont at the Big A, the 6 furlong profile of a winner does favor horses with early speed. A bunch, 3 out of 10 get the first call at the quarter-mile marker, and they'll get the first call at the 3/4-mile marker or the finish line. A real bonus for Wild Mama. 2 and 3 get a discount. 4 through 7 a bonus, and 8 and out, they really struggle. So speed in race number 4 is key, and everybody in this race wants to be middle forward. So getting to the front, speed of the speed could be the key. The 7 horse, that one, Philly Crystal, does look like it has about a 1 length early speed over the rest. So could get out to the front. That's where it wants to be. That 2 horse, though, right in there with the Angels, the morning line 1-to-1 shot, a lone EP, fantastic place to be in this sort of setup. Does also have the most, one of the better C zones, although 4 looks first. That one, if it can get out on front, but may not be out there. So could be a difficult trip. But if it can get out there, we'll have a great chance. The 2 horse also has the most late speed, has the top total pace, gets the top jockey trainer combination, by far the top par plus. So we do 1,000 simulations where we calculate out expected speed figures. In this case, 90. So in 684 out of 1,000 simulations with the Angels, the 1-to-1 morning line favorite did manage to score a 90 or better. Did show some better pace in the beginning, the middle, and the end of its last race, although the 5 and 6 did show better fractions. The 5 horse is your lone class dropper. And you got the 6, a prohibitive, which is kind of interesting to me, up against the 1-to-1 morning line. But it is your simulation favorite. for me, I think the 2-horse with the Angels, undefeated in 4 starts, has speed, going to catch some first-time Lasix, and to go at that speed has that late speed edge as well as the top total pace. I think a 2 probably rides shotgun around the track, turns on the jets, uses that Lasix to close it out with its late speed. Fortunately, you're not going to get a lot out of that horse. Philly Crystal is the longest shot, or one of the longest shots in a 5-horse field. Does have that big early race edge. Been successful at the 6-furlong distance, too. 7 races, 3 wins, 3 seconds. And the only time this horse ran at Belmont at the Big A was the last time, and it won in an easy dub out on the front. Number 6, Practically LOV or Love. Big-time sim favorite, as we saw on the, well, maybe not big time, but it is the simulation favorite in the Smart Sheets. A little better early pace in its last race. It does have some more workouts to sharpen the saw between starts. Then finally, the 5-horse Sarir is your lone class dropper. Should be coming late against the field that wants to be middle and forward. So having a little late speed could be beneficial. If you haven't done so already, kindly hit the subscribe button down there. You're not going to want to miss a fantastic Foreign Friday show as I get one of my sidekicks back tomorrow with Thomas. We're going to, again, go over the Everest down in Australia, one of the richest races in the world, and then the British Championship Series over at Ascot. 7 races, a full card of fantastic racing tomorrow in England. Make sure you hit the like, the follow, the subscribe button. You see all of that down there. Hit us up in the comments. Again, Monday, I'll be returning with Terry for Parks. Tuesday with Parks. Wednesday, maybe a little up in the air. I have an important meeting to go to, so we'll find out. But Keeneland will be on tap, and then Thursday back to the Big A. Tom will be off next Friday, so there won't be a Foreign Friday. And then the following week is Breeders' Cup week, so we're going to be hot and heavy on the international types for that. Race 5, as we make our way to the second half of this 8-race card at Belmont in race 5. They're going to run 7 furlongs, a little less than 1 all the way back here, but still 1 turn around the track. This is, again, maidens, 2 years old, fillies, so we're looking at that speed figure of 82. Very key number. And in race number 5, do any of these horses have the ability to hit that? 1 so far. Quiddity does have a yes. The 3-horse, Miss Sophistication, and maybe, so it came within 2 points. When we're looking at that, again, the very key things are to look over here at second race par ability. All of them have second race par ability, or the ones that have run already. And then all of them have a first-time starter score of 2.5 or above. Very challenging race. The 8 and the 9 have back bullets, maybe jockey-trainer combinations like the 4, Saratoga Party, or maybe even the 9, Britain. Those 2 horses, maybe that's where you want to look. As far as the race shape is concerned, the 3-horse can probably go to the front, can be patient if need be. The 2 and the 5 want to close. The 4 and the 6 not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. And the 7, 8, and 9, well, today they make their debut. Of the horses with experience, the 3-horse does have a 1-length total pace advantage. This race really, anyway, can go. I'm going to go ahead and start off with in this wide open maiden race. I'm going to go with the 3-horse. Miss Sophistication does have one of the best second race par abilities and has the very good workouts between starts. And then Quiddity, that one did have the top second race par ability, just missed in its debut. Number 1, Britain, is your top rated first-time starter. Solid workouts with a back bullet. And then Backstreets, that's a little bit of a long shot. It was a tough call over the rest of the field. But on September 27th, and this is, I don't know if I had this big argument with Charles when he was here, but I have found it to be useful, maybe indicative of things to come. But right here, September 27th, a bullet workout, the fastest of 213 horses. Out of that 213, there had to be a handful of quality horses in there. That tells me that this Mark Henning trainee has to have some talent. If it goes forward today, you know damn right well Kendrick Caramouche will be able to handle that kind of trip. If it doesn't get off to a good start, then I'd be a little concerned. As for my Benny and the bets, this starts the late pick 4. This is the perfect race for what I call the race of death because it ends the beginning of the first pick 4 and starts the second pick 4. You got 2-year-olds where anybody can win. So I'm going to go 359 over to 1238, over to 28, over to 2345 for my $48 pick four. And then a 50-cent trifecta box, because if that 8 can pull it off, I'd be pretty upset about that with my pick four. But hey, it would more than make up for it in the 50-cent trifecta box. 3 races to go. Race number 6. Oh, we just did race number 6. We're going to do race number 7 now. Race number 7. Oh, that was race number 5. Hold on. Race number 6. Yes. All right. I'm a little bit confused on my own self there. It's easy to do when you're rolling solo, when you're producing, you're editing, and you're contenting all at the same time. 7 furlongs again. This one's not for maidens. Again, you're looking for at 7 furlongs horses with some early speed. More than half, 56% win on the lead. I'm Buzzy. He's going to have to work harder than the rest because there's a bit of a discount there. 2 and 3 are almost fair. 4 through 7 is where all the winning action is at. And then 8 and out, that's fair. So you're going to be all right there. So you want to look at some speed in race number 6 again, preferably in the middle of the track. 7 kind of fits in that spot, but this is going to be a very competitive race from the start. Only the 3 truly wants to lead. All of these other horses are going to push more forward than they're used to. So a ton of left arrow action. A bunch have hit par. Only the 7, Megs, Fox, Gray, that potential front runner, not in that mix. Everybody else within 1 or 3 points in there. So opportunities galore. A lot of speed in here. Maybe late speeds where you want to look. And that one horse in here, I'm Buzzy. Tough rail, but perhaps a great trip chasing a ton of speed in this race. Decent C-zone, so it really should find a good opportunity to use those late legs today. The 8 horse, one of those potential pace setters, a 5-point total pace edge on the field. So if the front end and the back end add up, should win by about a length. Maybe some overlays. The 2 horse Spun Size, our simulation odds 3-5 versus morning line of 8-1. A little one on Sail Away, basically the same in there. And then same goes for Melly Mel. The 4 horse Best Jockey. You got a pretty good combination of good trainers in here. I think the 4 horse best combination of jockey and trainer. Pretty competitive race here in terms of who the simulation thinks the 2, 3, and 8 are the favorites. You see them over here as well in the total pace picks. In my picks for race number 6, I'm going to start it off with the 2 horse Spun Size. A little bit of a long shot, 8-1. Did show some better early pace in its last race. Good couple of workouts between races to have a little bit more longevity at the end. Number 1, I'm Buzzy. Tough rail for sure, but does have that biggest in-race advantage. 8 points late speed against a bunch of horses that want to go middle forward and should really be able to put out a top performance in the 3rd start after layoff. Number 8, Melly Mel. Top total pace, 1 length better than the rest of the field. Has a bullet workout in between starts, so really raring to go. And then Sail Away. That's your morning line favorite in what looks like a milk toast favorite status. Simulation favorite, top par plus. And the resume says this one will be better. In fact, it says it will be a lot better in the 2nd start after a layoff. So if you watch the show long enough, you know I'm a little bit of a patterns guy. So here you see the horse has 8 lifetime starts. It's only made 2 consecutive starts twice, a 10-point improvement in that one. And then over here in that 2nd start, a 7-point improvement. So the horse is likely to improve a lot today if that pattern holds true. I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, and 8 trifecta box to use up some more of my Benny and the Bets dinero. Hello, Private Ross. How are you today? Following the horses are long shots. Race number 3 to 8. What? Race number 1. Race 3, 8 and 1. Race 4, 3 and 6. Okay, I got it. So make sure you keep an eye out on that. Thanks, Private Ross, for sharing that. Thanks for saying hi, Jose. Thanks for letting us know about the number of handicaps today. Thank you for saying hi, as always. And Jose, thank you for joining us. Be like them. Put a comment out there, because it really, one of the great things it does is it helps me find the show to be a little bit more interactive. It also helps us at the search engine scores. So if you search on Google, or you search on Facebook, or you search on YouTube for horse racing content, or somebody else does, any interactivity between you and us coming back to rewatch. So I will timestamp every race in the description on YouTube, clicking on the links for like the smart sheets or the explanation for the smart sheets or for the free track of the day over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Any of that helps boost our scores and makes it more likely that people will find us as they search for horse racing contests. Very easy way to help the show. 2 races to go. Another way to help the show, obviously, is for Terry and I, today just me, to find some winners. I hope that's the case in race number 7. Again, we're going to go 6.5 furlongs on the outer turf like we just saw in the opener where the horse got to the lead and kept the lead. That's not surprising because early speed does all right. Stalkers, horses in the middle 4, but still nearly 3 out of 10 get the lead and never give it up. A little bit of a rail discount for executive order. 2 through 7 get a bonus. We saw that in the opening race. And then 8 and out is the worst place to be. So speed, race number 1. Let's see if it can follow suit in race number 2. And if that's the case, well, there's really one horse to look at. That's that 7 horse. But he's not really a front runner. He's really a PC type. So that's a left arrow action in there. And it is a yes horse. 4 Harp. Yeah, I might regret not having that one in my picks. The 2 horse Niagara Skyline, 3-point last race speed figure. Edge. As far as got a pretty strong season. I'm going to really regret probably not having the 7 in my picks. 4 horses that want to be middle forward, 4 horses that want to be middle back. That usually does favor strong C-zone types, although Winnebago does have the strongest C-zone score in there. Executive order is your only class dropper in the race. You got a pretty good jockey on the 5, Winnebago. Good trainer with the 8 in 8. And he's got the innate post position. There's got to be a cryptic code in that, my good friend, Private Ross. 8 is your simulation favorite. It's also your top total pace favorite. Lots of times that works out in terms of which horse takes home the trophy. Plenty of horses showing improvement last time out. So this race, another one that can go a lot of different ways. In race number 7, I decided to go with Niagara Skyline. Did run the top last race speed figure. You also see here, and this is a Barry Meadows angle, 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row, right? 85, 89, 90. Barry Meadows says that is a 15% plus handicapping angle in his research in the Skeptical Handicapper book. Make sure you get it if you're a data geek like me or nerd, whatever you want to call yourself. Wins at 15%. That's a card number to pass on. The 2 in 8, in post number 8. Only 1 bad race in 5 starts. It was 4th in that after a sluggish start. Every other race that's got off to a good start, it's either come close to winning or won. Is your simulation favorite and your top total pace horse. Hilarious Affair, the 3 horse. It's run on the Belmont at Aqueduct Turf 2 times, has a win, has a 3rd, has 3 strong workouts between races, so I expect a 3rd robust effort in the New York turf. And then finally, Finest Kind. Finest Kind, English, Richard. Long shot in here. 15-1. I posted in over that 7, 4 Harp, and the 5 because this one only raced 2 times so far. That means it has potentially the most upside in the race for a surprise. It fits. Why not? So I fit it right into my trifecta. 2, 3, 4, and 8. Typo. I meant to say race 9 to 12, the 1, not number 1 and 8. Okay. Good to know. Last race for me today is going to be race number 8. Again, Monday I'll be back with Terry. Tomorrow, 4 and Friday. Hit the subscribe button, follow. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow with all of those big races. The Everest, the richest race, I think, sprint race in the world, $20 million. That's a pretty ridiculous price tag. And then all those great races at Ascot where there'll be big pools, big surprises, and usually one of us hits them. Last race of the day, race number 8, mile on the turf. Again, here we go. Maidens 2-year-olds. It's one of those 2-year-old days. This is a race where anything can happen. Again, that 75 speed figure being key. When we look at the smart sheets, who's hit it, who hasn't? Nobody's hit it. Got a couple in here that have come close, within 2 points or 3 points or 4 points. Looking at that second race par ability, well, a lot of them have it. Looking at that first timer status of 2.5, 2 of them have it. You got the 2 horse as well as the 5 horse, just aloof. The trainer, the 5 horse, top jockey, top trainer. Got a pretty solid trainer as well on market hours, one of those second race par abilities. And with the second race par ability, I want to look at the speed figure 75, see how far across the hurdle they go. Right here, 77, not a big number. So maybe, and that horse has to be a maximum improvement to get by. Nobody really wants to be on the front, or at least if it didn't want to stay within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line, so faded badly. 3 and 10, they prefer to close. 1, 2, 5, and 8. Going to give it a shot for the very first time today. This is an all race, folks. I don't unfortunately get that luxury. I got to stick to our 4 picks. So I'm going to stick with my rules. The 3 horse, top second rate part ability, has a couple of good workouts between races, so this should be a better performance today. The 2 horse, take home the gold at 8-1. I hope that's what it does as your first time starter. 2.95 out of 3, all no's and maybes. Number 4, Miss Brunellas. Second rated second race par ability horse. That's a tongue twister. The only thing this one needs off of its debut is a little bit of a better start. So if it can get out of the gates a little bit quicker, maybe it becomes your number 1 second race par ability. And then Just Aloof, the 5 horse. Second rated first timer, does have that top jockey, top trainer combination. And why not end it with the 2, 3, 4, 5, the trifecta box for 50 cents. Again, here are my, let me just put this back up in here today. Private Ross. Thought Tom, not successful legacies except for the previous 3 weeks. Yeah, you know, those, it's going to be a lot of fun. I love those races. And you know what's fun about that is a lot of times you don't have the most data. So you got to just go back to old-fashioned ink to paper handicapping. And you do end up picking some horses you might not otherwise pick. But, hey, a lot of them win. So that's a pretty big, important thing there. Thank you for your time, Don Johnson. Look forward to seeing you again on Monday. You should join us on Fridays too, Tom. Don, we have some excellent picks on the weekends. Usually it's a lot of fun. Here are our full picks, my full picks for the day. Race number 1, the 4 horse 1. So if the 2 or 3 wins all day, I'm going to have a great day. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So I actually, a little pre-race thing, I saw the 2s, the 3s, the 2s, and the 3s, and I ended up flipping the 4 and 2 because I wanted to keep the 2-3 pattern all the way down. But I should have probably not have done that. All right. So as far as the rest of the wagerings are concerned, pick 3 coming up. I'm going to go with the 1 and the 3. Race 3, I have a $5 exact key box for lack of a better term. This would be my best bet where I am soloing up a horse that has decent odds and a good chance to win in my view. Race number 4, nothing. Race number 5, another pick 4, as well as a trifecta box. Race 6, a trifecta box. Race 7, a trifecta box. Race 8, a trifecta box. Again, in just a few minutes, probably 5 to 10 minutes, I'll post all of my picks as well as the Benny and the bet suggestions over at horseracingtoday.net. Head on over there, and then you'll see that as well as a race replay. I'll timestamp everything. Get yourself a trucker hat or a sweatshirt in our merchandise shop. We would greatly appreciate that. Free picks. Remember to sign up for the monthly so that you get the Breeders' Cup for both days, the wagering guide, all of the picks, and the smart sheets. It's a hell of a value, folks, for the all-star weekend of racing on Halloween and the first day of November. All right, that wraps it up for what we're calling Thump Day around here. I greatly appreciate you spending your time with me, and I hope that no matter what you're doing for the rest of this Thursday, I hope you have God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do ends up in the winner's circle. See you tomorrow for Foreign Friday.